Hi everyone, Letty here. Today I'm going to share with you hashtag Crafty Goals 2023. This is my 12 by 12 paper pack smash. This is the part 2 video of the Echo Park Best Summer Ever. So welcome back everyone. I am participating in hashtag Crafty Goals 2023. My goal is to smash 12 by 12s. I took out this Best Summer Ever by Echo Park. I have a part 1 of this series where I made 3 sets of the April 2023 sheet load of cards. I will link that video at the very end of this one, so just keep watching and you'll be able to see that video if you haven't already caught it. What I have left is the full sticker sheet, which is a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. Here's what's there. And then I have 6 sheets of paper that I've already cut down. I'll show you some projects for today. I have some cut aparts, some additional branding strip scraps, and then some scraps that came with the name of the paper collection, also from the branding strip. So I've taken my 6 sheets that I have left over. I've cut it down to an 8 by 8 section for one project, and then a 4 by 12 section for another project, and then an 8 by 4 for some scrap cards. So here's how you cut it. Cut it at 4 inches from the bottom of your paper. Then with what's left, go ahead and cut it at 8 inches on that 12-inch side. And that's how you can kind of get your 3 sections for our 3 projects today. So the long strip at the bottom is going to make 2 4 by 6 mini albums. I'll show you how to score and assemble those mini albums in just a bit. My section of 8 by 8 paper is going to make an 8 by 8 brag book, and I will show you how to make that and also in just a second as well. So we'll make an 8 by 8 brag book. Then with these additional scraps, I'm going to make some scrap cards. So this you can kind of do any which way. I'm just going to add it with my rest of my scraps, and I'll use this to finish decorating and make cards. So we've got 2 projects that we're going to be doing today. I'm going to show you how to prepare both of them. So the first one is the 8 by 8 brag book. Now this is inspired by Maymay made it. She made a 6 by 6, and I just did a video doing a 6 by 6 as well. What we're going to do is we're going to score each of these papers at 4 inches, but vertically, so meaning up and down. So that way, when you fold this brag book, it'll have an up and down pattern, a vertical pattern. So score it at 4 inches. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can just fold it in half. And I'll show you how to fold it in just a bit. So let's go ahead and score. Since I already have my scoreboard out, let's score the mini albums. You're just going to take each strip and you're going to score it at 5.5, at 6 inches, and at 6.5 inches on that 12-inch side. So 3 score marks, 5.5, 6, and 6.5. You're going to take all the rest of your sheets and you're going to go ahead and score them the exact same way. So you only use 3 strips per mini album for this. And so because I have 6 strips, it's like I use 2 sheets. Here you go, all 3 scores. So now my scoring is done. Let's assemble both projects. We're going to start with the 8 by 8 brag book. So first, choose your cover. So I look at all of my sheets. I decide which one I want, and I am digging these little food trucks. So I'm going to fold it in half. Now for your cover, you want the pattern paper on the outside, just like that. And then the remaining sheets, you're going to fold with your preferred pattern on the inside. So kind of like your A side on the inside. That's the side that's going to be seen, just like this. I like that little floral pattern. And the other pattern on the outside. So when you glue them together, the reason why I say keep the preferred pattern in the inside is because when you glue it together, you're going to form pockets and you won't be able to see the outsides of these additional sheets of paper. So I'm just folding all of them. I'm basically going through deciding which pattern I like better, and then I am folding it in half in a way where my preferred pattern is on the inside. So when I glue this down, I'm going to have my cover here, and then I'm going to glue these 2 pieces of paper together, the back of the first page with the front of the next page, and it'll form pockets. And so this is just a quick preview of what my little brag book will look like once it's all glued together. Now this next step is going to be optional. I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. This is the regular size. I do have an Amazon link down below. I'm going to use it to notch the insides of my pockets. So what I'm going to do is take the back of the first page with the front of the next page, stack them on top of each other, and then notch it at 4 inches, just so my notches align for both sides. I'll just keep repeating that same pattern. Take the front page, map it with the back page, and then notch them. And so I just want to keep aligning the 2 sides that are going to come together to form the pockets, which is again the back and then the front of the next one. And so I've already gone through, I've notched all of them except for the front and back covers. So here we go. This is what it'll look like. I have all my notches ready. I'm just going to enforce my spines just a tiny bit more, just so it's super, super sturdy when I go to glue in just a second. So, okay, this is another optional thing. I'm going to use the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. I'm using the 1/2 inch corner rounder, and I'm going to round all of the open ends of this brag book. So not the corners that are by the spine, but the opposite ends. Just so I have rounded corners, makes it easier to kind of use this little brag book and without having to worry about the little corners. So next step will be the glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue 3 sides to form a pocket on the back of the first page, and I'm going to attach the front of the next page together. So again, remember those B sides that we said we weren't going to be able to see? It's because we're forming these pockets. And so once you glue one with the other, you see how you have a pocket right there? You're going to just keep gluing the sheets together, and then once you glue them all, your brag book will be done. And so I'm just going to take the add glue, again, 3 sides, and the beauty of that little notch is that it shows you where to hold your paper and which side not to put glue on. So I'm holding it right there in the thumb in the notch, and then adding my second layer, my next page right on top of that, and it forms another pocket. So fun. And it's important to use wet glue in this project for a couple of reasons. One, wet glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room, so that way you can kind of make sure that everything aligns perfectly. But 2, wet glue actually fully dries. If you're using like double-sided tape, it doesn't actually fully dry. And so when you put something inside of those little pockets, it could get stuck in the double-sided tape. So your wet glue is going to be the best way to go. So this is our 8x8 brag book. You see here you have these full 8x8 page layouts that you can use for pictures or journaling or whatever you want. And you have all these additional pockets to add little mementos or cards or whatever you really want in those little pockets as well. So the full dimensions are 8x8 when it's open, 4x8 whenever it's closed. It's just a great, great size, I think. And so it's really fun. Next, let's assemble the mini albums. So I've already made one off camera. I used 3 sheets to make each album. I'm using some eyelets to set this. We're going to do the second one together just so you can kind of see how this comes together. Here's just a quick preview of what it looks like once you do have the little mini album assembled. Comes together so easy. You're going to see how quick and easy this project is. So I have my 3 sheets and they're already scored. So what you're going to do is go ahead and enforce or fold those score lines, and then you're going to stack the sheets in your preferred order, starting with the outermost one, or the bottom one like that is going to be your cover. And so then you see how it just sort of sticks right inside. You know how they have the peaks and the valleys? This is going to be a valley situation where you sort of stick each of the papers right inside of the other. And that little edge that we scored is going to be what's going to hold or bind your little mini album together. So one option, and this is optional, is to use eyelets for this. So I'm using this little eyelet setter, just a cheap little eyelet setter that I got from Amazon. I'll link that down below. I'm going to punch 2 holes in my little holder on the side there to the binding. I'm going to add the little holes, and then I'm going to add some eyelets right on inside of those holes just to really secure these. So I've got some We Are Memory Keepers eyelets. I'll also link an Amazon link down below for these as well. These are some great ones. So I'm going to just add the 2 little eyelets right inside of the holes, and then I will just finish setting them with my eyelet setter. Now, this tutorial was inspired by Amber, who's Lyric Lover Crafts. I will try to find her tutorial as well as Maymay's for that brag book, and I'll link them both down below. In Amber's tutorial, she just punches holes and then she ties it together with some twine or some string as a binding. I'm using the eyelets for this one. I think it works just as great, and I think it looks really cute. So here is what our little album will look like once it's set with the eyelets. Now, you will notice that the edges won't be perfectly straight, only because you inlaid several sheets of paper. So I'm just going to fix that by taking a trimmer to the edge, cutting off that little bit of excess just to really even out everything with that front sheet. And so now our little album is ready for some decoration. It is ready to go. You see how easy that was? That uses 1 sheet of 12x12 paper because it's 3 pieces of 4x12. I'm going to off camera decorate all of my projects, and I will come back and do a full preview of everything that I made with this kit. So here I have my stickers here. I'm going to use these to decorate along with those scraps that I have. So stay tuned for the full recap now. Okay, this was Best Summer Ever by Echo Park. This was a 12x12 paper pack that I had in my stash. I have no scraps left over. I used all of the paper, all of the stickers that came in this. This was a 2-part smash series. I'll link the first part at the very end of this video if you haven't caught it yet. I made 3 sets of the April sheet load of card. This first one was an A1 size. Here is the April 2023 sheet load of cards. This is from Call Me Crafty Al. I'll link her channel down in the description box below. She asked that you be a YouTube subscriber subscriber to her channel to get access to those sheet loads. They are amazing. I made 12 A1 size cards with one sheet of paper. I added some of those branding strips at the bottom. I kept them a little bit more on the plain side. And then I had 12 A2 size cards, also using that sheet load, also from one sheet of paper. So these two, in essence, were done exactly the same, only one was done with an A1 size card. This one was done with an A2 size card. And all I did was add some stickers just to really jazz up the top box. Because there was a bunch of wording on that top paper, I did not add any additional sentiments on these. I think these are just so super cute, and they were so easy to make. So that was our second set of cards. And then the third one was, I did 8 A2 size cards, but I used 2 sheets of paper because I also included an A2 size mat on these. So I did add the little sentiments from the branding strip, which says best summer ever on these, added a few extra stickers to the top sections, and I called it a day. So again, if you have not checked out this first tutorial video where I do all 3 sets of these cards, I'm going to link it at the very end of this one. So you can just keep watching to the end and you'll be able to see this. I made 32 total cards. Now I have the brag book. So this is the 8x8 brag book. I've decorated the front very plainly, but just a little bit. I have these little tuck spots that I have added. You have your pockets for your cards. I'm using those 4x6 cards that came with this kit. I cut them down, rounded the corners. You see here a ton of little tuck spots on almost every page. You could add pretty much anything that you want in this little brag book. I thought this would be perfect just to add some additional little tags and receipts and just anything just to keep your memories for summer. This is very flat, so it's very neat. And what's nice about this is you could stack this with as many sheets as you want. I only used 6. I also did 2 4x6 mini albums. So here's what I did. I just had very little decorations left, so I kept these a little bit plainer, but I think they still turned out cute. Here is a 3x4 cut apart that I turned into a pocket. You can kind of see here. Great to store some little items. I just literally just punched a notch in it and then glued it to the album on 3 sides. And then here is another little pocket, again, using a 3x4 cut apart. I think that was a great use of those 3x4 cut apart. So that was my first album. I do have a second one. This one, I really like this paper so much, I kept it super plain on the cover. I have another little tuck spot here where you could add anything into that little pocket. And then I just added some stickers throughout these little albums. Here's another little pocket, again, with another 3x4 cut apart. These are so fun to make, and they came together so quickly. You saw that on camera. It's so easy to make these. I did have some scraps. I made 6 additional scrap cards using that last little bit of paper. Now, I did run out of stickers, so I brought in the Teen Spirit Girl 12x12 sticker sheet. I had this in my stash, and it was a partial. I just had a few stickers left over, so I just added some doodle lines to these cards. I kept it kind of plain, but I wanted to just utilize what I had. Here I pieced together lots of stickers. So I thought those turned out fun. And then I also used some additional little die cut tags that were stamped and colored that I had in my stash, popped it up on some foam dimensional tape that I got from Dollar Tree. So those were my additional scrap cards. So this was a 12x12 paper pad smash, best summer ever by Echo Park. I have no scraps left over. I used the entire kit from my hashtag Crafty Goals 2023. Thanks for visiting, everyone. I hope you subscribe, like this video, follow me on Instagram. Here are a couple videos I think you might enjoy. And as always, happy crafting.